everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Tiffany Benson, one part of Team Benson, and tonight I thought I would take you guys through my garden so you can see what I do at night after my garden has gone through a 101-degree day. So let's take a walk. So I have a little harvest basket here, and I am going to grab a couple things out of the garden for dinner tonight. It is about 7 o'clock at night, and it's still about 100 degrees, but there's no crazy beating sun. So one of the things I love to do at night is pull back all of the shade cloth. A lot of times there's a lot of like little bugs, sometimes like pollinating bugs, so like the bees or just like ladybugs or something like that that might get stuck underneath there, and I don't want them to have to spend a whole day underneath there. So what I do is kind of just pull everything back and just shake it out a little bit so that the bees can fly back to where they came from and make us all honey, and everything's good, and I can let the garden kind of breathe a little bit. It also helps that if I get some morning sun before I get out here, it gives the plants a little bit of an extra boost. So let's peel all of this back. Okay, so as you can see, I have all of it pulled back, the big umbrella down, and the only thing that's kind of still left up are the shade cloths that are on top of the arches, just because things can get down and underneath there and free of the shade cloth. But everything else, like you can see the beans over here, they can now kind of get a little bit more air. So one of the things I check for is health of my plants, and I do this at night because it's after the heat has come. So if I take a look at my beans right here, I can see that they're doing good. They are getting a little bit of sun skull, not a lot. So that shade cloth is working. I might put up a kind of heavier, dutier shade cloth if this keeps happening, but for right now it looks like it's good. The other thing, I can look over here and see that the umbrellas are working because my peppers are still flowering. Having your peppers and your tomatoes and just any of your fruiting vegetables flower kind of really ensures that you're doing a good job on your garden and that it's becoming healthy. Because and as you can see, we got some over here too as well, but if a plant stops flowering, that means that it's unhealthy and it's too hot. So you'd want to get a thicker shade cloth on it. But the peppers are looking well, and the squash have been flowering. The squashes will put off their flowers early in the morning, but as you can see, we have some buds on here that will open up and have beautiful plants or beautiful flowers in the morning. So seeing flowers on your vegetables is a huge sign that you're doing a good job. The other thing I start looking for is bug damage. Since it's been underneath a lot of the shade cloth, a lot of times you can get bugs in there that get trapped. One of the only things I've kind of found are spider mites. And I have a couple spider mites in a couple of my plants, and I'll show you what those are. They get into the leaves of the plant and kind of just make little zigzags in the plant. They're easy to get rid of. Pretty much all you have to do is squish it on the leaf and it doesn't spread, or you can just pick the leaf. The only thing I get annoyed with is when they get into my basil, because then that's less basil for me to eat because I know there's a bug in there and I don't want to eat one. So this is just a little bit of spider mite damage. As you can see, it's starting to zigzag in here. So all you have to do is either squish the leaf on the plant like that, which it's gross, or you can just pick the leaf off. And then that protects the plant from any other spider mites. Alright guys, so the garden's looking pretty good, and I don't see a lot of bug damage or anything like that. I'm gonna grab a couple things from dinner, and then we'll head inside before we lose all light. Okay guys, so I have 2 tomatoes that I'm gonna chop up and put with some pasta and some chicken, as well as the eggplant. It's gonna go in there too as well. And then now I'm starting my bean pile where I collect beans every single week, put them in a refrigerator until I have enough to make a meal. Alright guys, well I'm definitely losing light, but I have my little basket with some goodies for dinner, and I'm gonna go ahead, get this cooked up, make dinner, and then we're gonna take a rest while the garden takes a rest. But always remember, grow yourself a garden, because even a small space can provide you with tons of food. Bye guys!